be our first topic starting from today. And so editor Vim, VI Vim, Vim was only used when we were trying to create a file using Vim. So this was the first attempt, or let's say the basic part of Vim we tried to go through yesterday. But we will, go a little deep on the Vim side. So how you can probably, play around with the, uh, text editor in the Linux machine. So hard link, soft link is already done. So after that, so first we will cover up file system hierarchy today. And after that, we will go ahead and look into, let me just create a new file. All right. So we will check Vim editor. And then, a couple of commands related to grep, egrep, fgrep. Okay. And then we will cover sed, find, locate, cut command. Those are the basic commands. And once we are done with these 4 topics from yesterday, the last topic we will be covering today, user and group management. Okay, we will see how long we can go. I'll try to finish it in first hour for 4 topics, first 4 topics, and the last one we will be covering because it will take some more time to understand what is user and group management means to be when it comes to the Linux operating system. So file system hierarchy. Okay, so here we will be actually looking into the operating system wise how the Linux operating system is actually handling the files and directory. Okay, and when it comes to the security as well, how the file system is designed in a way that even if it is vulnerable for one of the user and access those files, it would not affect to the other user, right? So let's try to figure it out what I'm talking about here. Let me quickly log into my machine. Let me clear this out. And so this is our current user. Okay, so if I want to switch to let me just go to root folder. So here, if you just see, we don't have much information. Cd dash. All right. So here, if you just see, right, so this is the parent directory. Okay, so this is the root parent directory, and under root parent directory we have all the directories which is actually represent the different function by itself. Okay, so when I say different function or the different files in it, so it means that binary folder will have the user binary data, the normal user binary data. Boot folder will have something related to the boot files. Okay, devices dev folder will have the data related to the devices connected to it, or external devices, inbuilt devices, hardware devices. Okay, so let's discuss more on the file system hierarchy we have in the Linux system. Let me just copy this and Okay. So as I mentioned, right? So this is our root directory. So this is our root directory, parent directory, I would say. Okay. Under parent directory, we have something called root directory. Okay. Which is default home directory of the root user, which is our super user. Okay. So this is the default home directory of the root user. All right. Then we have home. Okay. So home is default home directory of the normal users. So when I say normal, for the normal user, home directory is the default home directory. So what it means is, so when I'm logging to current user, okay. So when I let me just go to its parent directory. I mean the home directory. So what that means, when you run pwd, you will see that the current is normal user, right? So it is a normal user. How we represent the normal user? With the symbol of dollar. So we know that this is a normal user, and the home directory of the normal user is under home. All right. And the parent directory, or let's say the home directory of the root user, is #root. Okay. Then we have bin folder or bin directory. So here we have normal users binary files. Okay. All right. So here, what you can do is, so here, whenever you are running any of the command, so it will be going and taking the, path from binary folder only. So when I say that it is taking the path from the binary folder, so it means that, let me just check, from where it is coming. So you will see that which is the command which gives us the path of the touch command. So touch is the command to create an empty file, right? So user bin touch. Okay. So it means that the normal user binary files are located under bin folder. Can you please make your screen a little larger, Moses? It's a big, I think it is from your side, Mosina. Is there anybody else who is facing this problem?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, so as I said, right, so this, which command is used to check from where the command is actually coming. So the path of the command, okay? So when I say the bin folder, so the binary, normal user binary files are located under bin folder. So sbin, where we have super user binary files. Okay, it can be a root, your admin, right? Dev folder. So all the devices information will be stored under this directory. Okay. So all the devices information, let's say removable, non-removable devices. So all the information related to all the devices, hardware devices, will be stored under this directory. So etc. So we have all the configuration files information. Okay. So when I say all the configuration information, configuration files, under the etc. So what that mean is, um, let me just go back. So if I want to check what are the users available, so we don't have the permission. Okay. So etc resolve.config. Okay, so this is the file. This is the configuration file that for the DNS server. We all know that. Okay, so all the configuration related files are available under etc directory. All right. Okay, let's check the next one. So we have library directory. So all the information or the modules, kernel modules, okay, and the library images will be stored under library directory, or let's say lib directory, OPT. So third party software or packages, I would say, right? Information will be stored under this directory. So third party packages, whenever we want to go ahead and install any third party software or packages in our Linux machine, so all the information will be stored under OPT folder. Okay, proc. So all the process related information, okay, process related information will be stored here. User. So all the information related to manual page, okay, manual page information will be stored under user folder. Where? So where is the directory where it is a variable, I would say. So all the logs will be stored under where? Directory. Okay. Run. So all the non-persistent across reboot. So whenever we are running the reboot, or all the run levels information, so what will happen is it will take the input from the run. So non-persistent across the reboot. Uh, across the reboot. All right. Temp. So temp is again, I mean, by name itself, it is a temporary directory to store temporary files. Okay. Boot. Complete, boot related information will be stored here. Okay. SRV. So this SRV, directory will give us the detail of any server, any file server connected to it. Okay, like the FTP. Okay, or any web server. Media. So all the removable devices like disk, CD, or pen drive information will be under media. Sys folder. So it will contains the system information, the complete system information. So mount, this is the last one. So it is, temporary mounting to use the temporary mount system. So we will be using mount directory. So where we are temporary mounting our file system. Any doubt so far? So this is our, parent directory starting from um, hash, starting from root, and then we have our root directory, and then home directory, bin directory, all the directories, and also the functionality of all the directories and the information they stored is typically, always different. All right. Is there anything, any doubt so far? Difference between bin and user bin and as bin example?
No.
Santosh, bin, as I mentioned already, so binary bin folder will be having all the normal user files. Okay, binary files, I would say, whatever the commands a normal user can run. Okay, as bin will have the information of the super user, or let's say all the binary files which is actually can run by the root user. All right.
Yeah, thank you. So in that top page, so it says user bin. So is there any difference or both are same? Bin
So
and
both are
user
same.
bin.
Users will have all the manual page information related. Okay, so manual page in the sense whenever you are running any of the commands, so you want to check what is the manual of this particular command, so you can check the information, so it will be coming from the user directory. Okay, is that answer your question,
Yes.
Santosh? Okay, cool. So let's say if we have any command. Okay,
Hello.
yeah, so if you just see, right, so we have command which is the command name is touch. Okay, so it will have all the information, all the parameters, option, everything, every detail. If you don't know even the command what that command means, so you can probably check the manual page, okay, and get all the details related to that particular command. The syntax is nothing but man and command name. So any command. Okay, so you can get the details of any of the command. Yeah, so somebody else was asking the question.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask that this file system hierarchy is only to know about that system, or it is used in practical sessions?
Which
Is
one?
it used in all hierarchy, like /etc/ user bin?
It is, yeah. So based
All
on
that.
the functionality. So let's say you have connected a pen drive to your system. Okay,
Okay.
so where that information will be, so that information will be under media. Okay, so
Okay.
it is something that the Linux file system had segregated the file system in hierarchy, uh, so based on the functionality we are using. So if you just say that temporary folder, okay, so temporary folder will have all the temporary files stored. Okay, so whenever you are rebooting your system, so what will happen is that temp folder will be clean off.
Clean.
Okay, so those kind of functionality is basically segregated in the file system level in Linux.
But for example, if you connect something external like pen drive or something
Correct.
for that system, that
Mhm.
do you want to log in the that /dvc folder or
No, no, no,
directly
no, 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 no. We don't have to log in to any of the folder and stuff. It is just that you have the information under this folder or directory.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So let's say the system logs or the system information. So it will be under sys folder. So if you want to check the sys folder, you can check all the system related, tasks. And let's say, as I mentioned, if you want to check the configuration related, things, so it will be under etc folder. Okay. As we already discussed, etc resolve.config. Resolve.config is it contains the DNS related information, DNS server related information. Okay. So it will be under resolve.configuration. So it will be under etc. Okay. So all the configuration file will be under etc. And when it comes to the, logs information, whenever, whatever is happening in your system, so you will be checking the logs. So where you will go under var folder. Okay. So you will see all the things. See, crash, right? So there could be uh, all the logs related to whatever is happening right now under the system. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay,
cd
means
log.
the all
Mhm.
folders are just if we want some information about any like devices or any configuration.
Correct. Correct. So if
Only
you just
about that.
see, yeah, so if you just see, let me quickly switch to the root user and let me show you something. So let's var log messages. So I wanted to see what is happening right now in the system. So whenever there is a problem, right, and you raised a ticket with the Red Hat that I need a support, my system had gone down like 1 hour before, and I wanted to check with you what has happened. It just rebooted, and right now it is not in the stable version, right? It is not stable right now as well. So what will happen is Red Hat team will ask you to create a syslog, or let's say a system, support bundle. Okay, so it will have all the logs information. Okay, so under the var messages is one of the main file where I see what is actually happening with my system. Okay, so these are the logs which we look for whenever there is a problem with the system. Okay, so these logs files, where they are located, they will be located under var. So this is why I said, so those system file system hierarchy we discussed, right? So all the all the directories will have different types of information based on the system system configuration, or let's say the system to be running fine, up and running fine. So you will have all the details. Okay.
Okay.
All right, is there any other question, or we are okay to discuss um, next topic? Let me know if there is any other question, please. So if not, let's talk about one main topic, which is, so it is very much important topic. I mean, most of you might be aware, but I just wanted to check with you. So what do you mean by path? What is path in Linux operating system, or let's say any operating system? What we mean by path?
Location of the file, address of
Location of
that
a file.
location.
Correct. So a path is a unique, right? Unique location of a file or a directory in a file system of an operating system. Okay. So in Linux, if we are talking about, right, so there are two types of path. The first one is absolute path, and the second one is relative path. So what that means? Absolute path means so what that mean is, so it will be specifying the location of a file or a folder from the root directory. Okay. So it will be specifying the location of a file or a folder from the root directory. So what that means? Let me just show you. All right, so let me clear the screen. So if I say pwd, so where we are right now, so we are under root. Okay, so I'll check if there is something else under root. So there are two files. I don't want to, check those. So what I'm gonna do is I'll go under home current, and now I'll check the path. So from where it is coming? Okay, so it is coming from, so this is the absolute path. Okay, so it is coming from root directory. Okay, under root home current. So if let's say I will create a folder called d1, cannot create d1 file exist. Okay, let me see. rm. Okay, let's go to d1. Okay, so now if I want to see the absolute path, it means the path of d1 folder would be starting from root directory. Okay, so this is what absolute path means, a full path starting from the root directory. Okay, so what we discussed, specifying the location of a file or a folder from the root directory. Okay, so let's discuss one example with the file as well. So let me create one file f1. Okay, now there is a file created already, and it is a normal file from a dash. Okay, so this is a normal file. So now if somebody asks you what is the location or the absolute path of file f1, so how you will actually mention the location? So if somebody asks you what is the absolute path of the file f1, so this should be your answer. Okay, so this is the absolute path of the file f1, the full path, which would be starting from the root directory. Okay, relative path. So this is one of the interview question as well. They will ask in the interview. So absolute path, we already discussed. Relative path, so it's just specifying the path related to pwd. Okay, present working directory. Okay, so what that mean is, so when we are where is that? Okay, so when we discuss about the relative paths, what that mean is specifying the path related to pwd, present working directory. Okay, so what that means, so we are under D1 right now, correct? So let's say under D1, I'm going to create a folder called D2. Okay, so now I know that I have a folder called D2. Okay, so if you just notice, I'm already under D1. Okay, I'm already under D1. And if I want to enter to D2, I will just CD, change the directory to D2. I won't actually specify the whole path. Okay, understood? So I don't have to specify the whole path here. Okay, so I will just go and check or enter to the D2 directory. So here also I'll go ahead and create one file, F2 file, or let me just enter a couple of things. Testing relative path. Okay, or let's say absolute path first. Absolute path. And I'm going to write it in the file of F2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so if I say that cat F2, so this is where we call it a relative path, because this is based on the present working directory, because we are under D2 already, right? But if I say what is the absolute path of the file F2, so how I will read that file now? I will go under home, under current, then D1, then D2, then what is the file name? F2. So this is what I call is absolute path. Okay, and this is what I call is relative path, which is based on your present working directory. You got it what I'm saying, right? Any doubt so far? Any doubt, guys? Let me know. Let me clear the screen. I hope you understood the concept of absolute path and relative path. If yes, let's proceed. Next with our next topic. So it is not much to understand here. So we will try to copy the file from one file to another, and we will try to move the file location from one location to another now. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have F2 file already. So what I'm going to do is, so I am under D2. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and copy F2 file to under D1. Okay, what I'm performing is I'm performing copy of F2 under D1. Okay, so let's go back and see if F2 is there. F2 is there. So this is how we perform the copy. All right. And if I want to move the file, or let's say move, there is also functionality of the move command to rename the file. Okay, so we can rename the file using move, or let's say move the file from one location to another. So let's say from F2. So right now I'm under D1. So I want to move the file F2 from here to current. Okay, so what you will see, you will not see the F2 file here under D1. It is something called cut and copy. So here you will see the file as F2. So I want to rename the file from F2 to F3. Okay, so you will see that the F3 file and the content of the file should be same. Okay, so it is something renaming the file. All right, let me quickly copy this content for you. Copy to copy a file. To move a file from one location to another. So here we are renaming the file from F to F3. Okay. Any doubt so far? Any question, any doubt, just let me know. So we'll move forward with a couple of other commands now. Anything, guys, just let me know. All right, so let's discuss about the command grep. Let's go back here. Grep, a grep, and f grep. Okay. So grep, what is that mean? So it is a global regular expression print. Okay, so it is used to catch specific, or let's say not catch, what is not a good word, used to filter the specific word from a file, or let's say data. Okay, so what that mean is, so it is filtering out a specific word from a file or a data. So let's go back to our system. So what that means, so let me quickly read the file etc shadow. Okay, so I just so if you just see, we have current user, we have root user. Okay, so let's see, let's say if I want to just see the data of current only. Okay, or let's say just wanted to see the word or filter the word current only from the whole file. Okay, so what and how I will do, so I will use grep command, grep, and then I'll give current whatever the word I want to filter out. Okay, a specific word from where, from shadow file. All right, so you will see that the particular word would be highlighted. Okay, this is the one way, and another one is etc password. You are reading the file. Okay, and so this is the pipe symbol. So pipe symbol is used to combine two commands. Okay, so one command is reading the content of etc password, and the second will get the output of the first command, and it will work on, it will work on that particular input and get the desired output. So here I want to grep or filter the word current from this file. Okay, so you will see that okay, so we were gripping from shadow file, right? Okay, so you will see the same in output from using this different method. But yes, so the pipe symbol is the one where you can combine two commands at a same time in a single command, I would say. Okay, So this is basically functionality of grep. So you can, let's say, you can grep a root from password file. So wherever a root will be there in the file, so you will see those lines or those data, or the highlighted words. Okay. All right. So this is the functionality of grep. Okay. Let me copy this for you. All right. Okay, so here I will mention pipe symbol is used to combine two commands. Okay. Filter the word current from file etc shadow or etc password. Okay. All right. So let's discuss about egrep. Okay. So what is egrep? So it is an enhanced version of grep. What that means? So now, so in the grep command, by using grep, right? So we were able to filter one word at a time, right? So let's say if I want to, filter two words at a time. So what we are going to use, we are going to more than two words, I would say. So we are going to use egrep. Okay. So let's see how it works. So let's say if I want to filter using egrep, I want to filter root. So let me just show you one more thing. So if I just want to use, let's say I want to filter out root current using grep. So how does it will behave? It will not give you the input, output, sorry. Okay. So if you use egrep, okay. Sorry. So egrep will give you the information. Okay. Okay. But here is the catch. Grep, using grep also, there is an option called hyphen capital E. By using hyphen capital E, you can use the egrep functionality, or let's say filter out more than two words or two or more than two words from the file. Okay, so it will be acting as egrep only, but again, so we have the different command itself, which is egrep. All right. Filter two or more than two words from a file. Let me just save this as class 2. Okay. So the last one we have is fgrep. So what is fgrep means? So fgrep is nothing but fast grep. Okay. It is same as grep. It is same as grep, but the working of fgrep will be more speedy. All right. So it will be same as grep only, but again, the situation is when you have a big file and you want to actually filter out one word from the file, or let's say more than one word from the file. So what you do is you will use grep, and what will happen? So it will sometime hung the machine, or it will not generate the output immediately, because grep is it's not much speedy, or let's say compared to fgrep, it is not that much speedy. So you will not get the output when this file of size of the file is very big, like in GB. Okay, so fgrep is usable when there is a file in big size, and you want to filter out something from it. Okay, but yes, I mean, you can use it in the same way. Okay, it is same as grep. All right, so is there any doubt, anything in your mind, any specific question related to whatever we have discussed so far?
Hello, Karanj.
Yes, Max, right?
No, Moses.
Hey, Moses, yes, tell me.
Yeah, please, can you just explain the difference between the pipe symbol and the E-grip? It looks like they do the same thing. I don't know.
Which one, E-grip and?
Both, yeah, the E-grip and the pipe symbol for the grip.
Pipe symbol.
Yeah.
E-grip and pipe symbol. You mean it is same?
Yeah, it sounds to me like they filter, like you want to
Okay.
filter two things at once.
All right. Let me explain you. It is not same. Okay. Why I'm saying it is not same is, so let's say I want to see how many words etc WD, and I want to see how many words are there or lines are there in the password passwd file. So I'll use the pipe symbol to combine two commands. It is not filtering out anything. Okay, the output of this particular command, cat etc pass wd. So this is the one output we are getting from it. Okay, and wc word count, and -l will give you the lines, the number of lines. uh, so the pipe symbol will be used to combine another command, which is wc word count -l. So how it will behave? The output of first command, which is cat etc password passwd, will actually act as an input to the other command, which is second command, our wc-l. Okay, you got it what I'm saying, right, Moses? So this is combining two commands at the same time. But when it comes to egrep, okay, so what it is doing, it is actually filtering out the word. Okay, it is not combining anything. So etc passwd. Okay, so it is just filtering out the words from the file. So it is filtering out more than one word when it comes to the egrep. Okay, so grep is only used for filtering out one word at a time, but when we using grep -e, so it will be acting as a egrep only. But if you say this pipe symbol, right, this pipe symbol, okay, so this is not a pipe symbol, because we have quoted in the it is a pipe symbol, but again it is quoted in the comments. It means that we are filtering out those words. Okay, and it is nowhere related to combining the output or input of any other command. Okay, Moses, can you hear me? Is that answer your
Yes,
question?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking, because you have the quoted sign and you have roots
Correct.
symbol current. So that was what I was confused about. Like, okay, there's a pipe symbol already there, but since you said the quoted sign differentiate it, it makes a lot of sense.
Correct. So this is quoted. So it means that it is always in, it is already in comments. So it means that we are just filtering out those words. It is not combining the words, or let's say input or output of any of the command. But when it comes to the pipe symbol, basically, so it is combining the it combines the two commands basically. Okay. So
Okay.
here we are not using any, any of the command, because they are already in comments or in quotes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks. Is there any other question?
Hello.
Yes, Sheetal.
Yeah, actually, that's fgrep command is used only for one word searching, or it's also used for the multiple words or multiple characters.
I did not
fgrep.
get your question. Fgrep
Fgrep
is used for? Yes.
only
Go
for
ahead with the
one
question.
one character or one string. It's filter only for one string, or it can be used for the multiple strings.
So it can be used for multiple words, as I already
Yes,
mentioned,
sorry.
using this option called -e. Okay, so it will be acting again similar to the egrep, but basically fgrep is just the fast operation of the grep. Okay, so whenever there is a file which is big in size, around in GBs, okay, so let's say I am the engineer, I'm the support engineer. Okay, I'm working as a technical support engineer, and customer comes back to me and asking that there is a problem with my system. Okay, and I'm looking for something related to reboot, or something related to a keyword which is basically will give me more information. Okay, I'm filtering out the keyword, the specific keyword. So what I will do, I will actually use fgrep in that case, because the file size is very big. I use the grep, but it is not giving me the output, or it is taking more time to process the output. So in that case, I will be using fgrep. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Sheetal. Any other query? All right. Let's proceed if there is no other query. All right. So we have covered already okay, so we have covered file system hierarchy, fgrep. So we will cover Vim editor now. Okay, so there are a couple of commands already here: sed, find, locate, and cut command. Okay, so we will discuss about these commands as well. Will not take much time for these commands. So sed. So sed is stream editor. Okay, so it is used to show specific line. Okay, and also it used to replace the word in a file. Okay, so what that means is, so let's say I have a file. Let me quickly go ahead and check it. So I have a file past wd. Okay, I don't know how many lines are there. So what I'm gonna do, either I can use wc command, or I can use -n to check how many lines are there. I have 46 lines. Okay, so let's say from the 46 lines, you just want to check a specific line. Okay, let's say line number. So I'm combining the command now. So here I'm using the pipe symbol. So output of this particular command will be acting as input of another command, sed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I just wanted to check the specific line, which let's say a 20 number. Okay, so I'll mention 20. Okay, so it will show me the 20th line, the specific line. Okay, so this is how the SCD works to show us the specific line. So you can probably change it to, let's say, 24th 24p. So here it will be giving me the line information from 20 to 24, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And if you just want to see specific line, which is 20, 22, so 20 and 24. So we will be using this command. Okay, this is how it works. So basically, in day-to-day task, when it comes to the administrative task, or let's say technical support, as a technical support engineer, we don't use this command more. But yes, I mean, it is a command for Linux. Just wanted to show you that if in case if you just want to see a specific line or something related to it, so you can probably go ahead and use the SED command. Okay, so yes, so as I mentioned, so it is the command which is used to show us the specific line. Let me quickly copy the content of it, and okay, so let's discuss about the find command. So find is very much known command for if you are a technical support engineer, or let's say a administrator as well. So let's say if you actually forget the file location, so you don't know, you know that file name, but you don't know where it is located. Okay, so what you do is file or directory, let's say. So what you do is you just check let me just quickly create one of the file. So let's say we have f3 file already created. So what I'm gonna do is I'll quickly create a file under temp, let's say test file, test.txt, or let's say, yeah, test.txt file. Okay, so I just wanted to see, I know the location of the file. Sorry, I don't know the location of the file, but I know the name of the file. So I will use find. So this um uh so it will be searching from the root directory. Okay, so this is where we can use find and then iname. This is the option to give the name of the file. I to ignore if it is in lower case or capital case. So test.txt. Okay, so it will find out that it is under temp folder. Okay, so this is basically the work of find command. You can go ahead and search the directory. It is not just the file which we can search. So here, if you just see, so D1 is the directory. Okay, all right, so this is how you can find any file or folder or directory if you know the name of the file, but you forget the location of the file. Okay, so this is how you can find it. So the another command we have is locate. Let me just quickly go ahead and copy the content of it. Okay, So locate command is also used to, because here if you just see, right, we are giving the location of we are searching from the location of the root directory, but here you just need to put the file name, which is test.txt. So it will give you the location of the file. But if you just notice, right, we have the test.txt file under current, okay, but it is not that I mean, if you just see, right, under current we don't have any test.txt file. It means that something is not updated. Okay, so locate command is working from the database. Okay, so there is a database in the backend which will be getting updated whenever you want to search any of the file or folder. Let me just go ahead and update the DB. So this is the command to update the database. Okay, so now if you just test search test.txt file, so you will not see it is located under current because there was no file under current as test.txt. Okay, so this is also one of the command to search the location of the files. Okay, that already forgotten the name, but I remember a line of all right. So is there any other question, please, related to find, locate?
Yeah, why do we use update DB?
Update DB.
Yes.
So update DB is the database in the backend. Whenever there is a new folder created, okay, we need to update the kernel that, or the database that we have created a new folder, or let's say new directory or a file. So whenever we are updating that database, okay, using the update DB, so you can locate the particular location of that file. So locate is another command to get the location of the file. Okay, if you just forget the location of the file, there are other options as well. If you just um, do the man, so it will show you so many other options as well. We will not be discussing all the options here. Okay, you can explore all the options, but yes, when it comes to the functionality of that particular command, so probably you just you can focus on it is just giving you the location of the file. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
and it is basically based on the database which is working in the backend. Okay, so
Okay,
it is
thank
I would say it is much improved version of find, I would say. Okay, because in find we need to give mention the location of the from where I need to search the file, or let's say I need to mention the iname or the options of the file or directory. So here we don't have to mention anything. We just need to mention locate and file name or the folder.
Yeah, because I noticed they usually use it with the locate command. They update DB.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, so any question, please?
Hello.
Yes.
When we use a locate command, means every time we have to update DB command should run.
No, whenever you are actually creating a new folder or files, or there is updation in the operating system, so you need to actually update the DB. So it's just a command to update the DB. So let's say you did not find the location of the file which you are which you want, right? But again, you know that I created the file yesterday or day before yesterday. Might be the database was updated before couple of days back, so you did not update the database after that. So what you do is you just run the command update db. So whatever the location or whatever the deleted files or newly created file will be there, so it will actually update in the database. And you may find from the locate command. So locate commands is much faster when it comes to the find. So find will take some time to find out, because it will be, so if you just see, right, so the hierarchy of the file system, so it will be finding out from the whole root directory, correct?
Yeah.
From the parent directory itself. So it will be searching out from each and every folder. Okay, so that's where it will be taking time. So locate is where it will be updating, keep on updating the database. And uh, once the database is updated with the newly created files or folders, so the the updation will be there in the database. So it will just give you the output very quickly. It will not just search out from all files and all the folders, because it doesn't mean to be go here and there and check whether the file is there or not. Okay.
Okay. And in
Yep.
that command find, there is a hyphen iname. That is the mandatory, or what is that meaning of hyphen
Correct. So
iname?
name, so you are mentioning the name of that particular folder or file. Okay. And I is to ignore the case sensitive. So whenever you see I, it means that you are ignoring the case sensitivity. Okay.
And name is just the name of that file. So it is the
Correct. So
mandatory.
name of the file or directory.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. No problem.
Okay,
So
I
any
have
other
another
question?
question. Yes. What if I want to search for a file, but I forgot the name of the file, but I can remember like a line in
Okay.
the context of, content of the file. How do I go about that?
Yes. So there are options. So you can probably go ahead and locate or find those that file as well. So in some cases, if you don't, I mean, that you created the file a couple of days back, let's say on Monday or Tuesday. So there are options to find out that file as well. So here if you just check your manual page, okay, so here you will get all the options, whatever the way you want to find the content of your file. Okay, you got it what I'm saying, right? So here there are multiple options. It is not just you just forget the location of the folder file or folder or directory, and you mention the iname and just wanted to check the location. So it is not just the location. It is, if you forget the name, even the name, but you remember when I created the file, so you can mention the time or date and then find out that file. And uh, let's say if you I mean, as you are asking, I know the line or content of the folder or the file whatever I have written. So probably you can combine two commands. You can grep out you can grep out whatever you have written under quotes and in the file, and combine it with the find command, so it will be possible as well. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other question? Sure, Santosh, we will share the recording. So he's logging off. Any other questions? So let's otherwise move quickly, because we have a lot to cover up today. All right, so we have covered. So I guess I already copied, but let me just see. Yes, correct. So locate, find, SED is already done. Okay, so let's discuss more about the Vim now. Okay, so let's move forward and discuss about the Vim editor. So Vim editor is, so Vim editor, as we already discussed yesterday, couple of basic things only, not not in deep information. So it is the text editor in Linux. Okay, so when I say VI, Nano, so all are text editors in Linux. Okay, so VI was the basic version, and Vim is improved version of VI. Nano is again a different editor. Again, it is a text editor only. Let's say we have Notepad and Notepad++ in the Windows, and there are other couple of Notepad applications available in the market. So the same way we have VI, Nano, Vim editor, but we will discuss more on Vim because most of the customer, or let's say technical support engineers, administrator, we use Vim editor as our first preference for editing that file. Okay, so we have two ways of editing the file. One is we have GUI gedit, and the other one we have is Vim, or let's say the CLI version of it, which is Vim. Okay, so GUI version, which is gedit, let me just show you there as well. But if you just go here, activities, and go to application, so this is your text editor, which is your graphical base, just like your Notepad in the Windows. Okay. Sorry. All right, let me clear the screen, and let me just quickly go ahead and create a file using Vim. Let me create a file called f1.txt. Okay, so this is where you will see f1.txt new file, but you cannot write anything as of now because this is a command line mode. It is a command mode. Okay, so when I say command mode, you can actually give the commands on the Vim editor. Okay, so when I say you can give the command, it means that when I press I is the command which I'm giving to the Vim editor. So it will actually enable the insert mode. So insert mode is where we are writing anything, any data, right? Hi, how are you? Okay. This is our second Linux Red Hat class. Okay. So this is where you write the data. And if you want to modify something, let's say you want, so you are here and you want to add a line in between these two lines. So what you do is you escape, come out from insert mode. Okay, and here you press O. Okay, so what it will do, small o. Okay, so it will to create a new line, next line to the CP. CP is your pointer, your cursor pointer. Okay, so here you can write, see, if you just notice, the insert mode is already enabled. Okay, so let me write down some of the options. Okay, so we have modes. command mode. And then we have insert mode. We have colon mode. Okay. All right. So command mode. When I say command mode, so this mode is for file navigation. Okay. Vim file name is the command we use, or let's say you can use vi file name. Okay. All right. So you just run the command vim, so it will give you the details of details about the vim. Okay. So G is to go down, to go to bottom, not down, I would say, to go to the bottom of the file. Double G is to go to top of the file. Okay. Shift plus 4 to go to last of the line. Shift plus 6 to go to beginning of the file. Okay. And we have insert mode after that. Okay. So CP is, basically a cursor position. Okay. So let's discuss, command mode first. So G, capital G, when you press, capital G.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes,
Okay, what is the difference between the VI and Vim? Is there any difference between them?
So VI is basically a basic version of, text editor. Vim is basically a newer or improved version of VI. Okay. There is no much difference. Only the Vim is improved version of VI. Okay. We have both running on it, but right now, most of us, we are using Vim because this is improved version of VI. Okay. So VI was introduced in, old versions of Red Hat. But right now, after like 6 or 7, I guess. So Vim was introduced. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. So when I come out from insert mode, so let's say I'll press G. So G, as we mentioned, bottom of the file. And if I press GG, so it will be to go to the top of the file. And if I press Shift 4, so what it will do is it will go to the last of the line, the specific line. Okay. And if I press Shift plus 6, so it will go to the beginning of the file. So this cursor pointer or the cursor position is moving accordingly. Okay. But yes, it comes with the, whenever you do the practice, so you will get to know more. Otherwise you will forget the commands. So this mode is, insert mode is, this mode is for editing the file. Okay. So I is, we know that insert mode, O, small o, to create a new line next line to the CP. Okay, and capital O. So this is the small o, capital O, to create a new line, previous line to the cursor position. Okay, YW, to copy a word. Okay, if you want to copy a word, so YW is the command. Small p, to paste next to the cursor point position. Capital P, to paste previous line to the CP cursor position. So DD, small dd to DD. So to delete a line, okay, and DD, to delete n number of lines from cursor position. DW, to delete a word. U again, just for undo whatever you have done. Control plus R is to redo the changes. Okay, and after that we have colon mode. Okay, so what is that colon mode is? So whenever we are saving the file or writing anything in the file, this is just to save, this is to save and exit. Okay, so this is just to quit. This is to forceful quit. All right, so these are the options we have when it comes to your Vim or VI editor. Okay, these are the options or the commands we use or the command line modes we have. Okay, so you probably go ahead and gets your hand dirty, use different command or editing and play around with your Vim editor. Okay, so I'll just try to delete the line. Okay, and again delete the line. So what I'll do is, again I'll go to colon mode. So I'm gonna quit it from file. So again I will have cat F3 Vim. So I did not create the file because I quit from the file, right? We did not save that file. All right, fine. So this was the Vim, the text editor and the options we have and to play around. Just let me know if you have any doubt, any question related to Vim. Otherwise, we will go ahead and discuss more about users and group management. Any question?
Hello, Karanji.
Yes, Moses.
Yeah, so I have noticed that most people using the Vim, the VI text editor, when they want to exit from the text editor, they use a colon, then the exclamation WQ, but some use WQA. Is it the same?
WQ?
WQ or WQA? Is it the same? And what's the difference?
See, I never saw that we are using WQA. So we, if there is any option, I'll surely explore it. But if you ask me, let me just see. I just want to insert any of the thing, let's say testing Vim. Okay. So now I'll press
Okay.
escape, come out from the, insert mode, and I'll
Mhm.
enter it to the colon mode using colon. Okay. And
Okay.
if I say W, okay, so it will just save the file. Okay. Whatever we have modified, it will save it. But if I say save and exit, so what it will do, it will save and exit at the same time. Okay. I don't know. So you are talking about WQA, correct?
Yes, correct. Like that. I've seen some people use this as exit the text editor. I don't know why, but
Okay. I will explore that option if we have, but I personally never used a option, um, which is, new to me as well. So
oh, okay, okay, no problem.
yeah. So I'll check that. What is that A specifically represent? Okay. But yes, WQ is enough to save and exit from the file. Okay.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Any other question? Any other question? Otherwise, we will move to our last topic, which is user management and user and group management. We will try to cover as much as we can today, and then discuss whatever left tomorrow. Let me know if there is any question. Sorry.
Are we covering nano today?
Sorry.
Nano, did we talk about nano?
We will talk about nano, some other day, I would say,
Okay, okay, no
because
problem.
because the Vim is basically enough to learn whenever you are doing the text editing. For nano, I will be covering it in some other lecture, I would say. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem.
Yeah. So nothing much to learn in nano. It's just that again you are giving the nano and the file name. So after that, there are a couple of commands for related to nano itself, how you will save the file and all. So this is basically again a text editor, and every text editor, when you are using on the CLI mode, it will be having the same kind of modes we discussed here, like insert mode, or let's say colon mode, or the command mode. Okay.
All right, okay.
Yep. Any other question? Otherwise, we will go ahead and discuss about users and group management. We do have 20 more minutes to try to cover as much as we can today. Any question? All right, if no questions, so let's proceed. So what do you mean by user? Any input? What do you mean by user? It is very much important topic. Whoever is actually wanted to clear RHCSA, I suppose everyone. So please focus on this topic very carefully and listen to whatever I'm going to tell you. This is I would say a gold standard information, but listen to it carefully. So what is user? So Konica is saying person who operates system. or application or anything available, any other out, any other input, any other comment from anyone. All right, so the user, as you know, Konika mentioned, you know, the one who actually operate the system, or the one who uses the system is called user. Okay, the one who operate or use the system called user. Okay, how kernel will identify that, you know, this is the user? By using user ID. So this is the kernel identification for the user. We have user ID specifically for the users we are creating. Okay, and user name, basically a human identification. Okay, so whatever the user I created, let's say a current, a normal user, right? So it is the human identification. So where I can, you know, specifically know that, okay, this is the username. I'm on it, or this is my username. I don't know, might be I don't know the user ID of my user, but I know that this is my username, correct? So this is the human identification, but kernel will not identify as the name of the user. It will identify with the user ID. Okay, all right. So by default, by default 0 to 999 user IDs will be reserved for the kernel, or let's say for the system. All right, so this information, or let's say the configuration file of the users, we can get it from etc login.defs. So this is the main configuration file for both users and group. Let me just show you. Red Hat. All right, let me clear the screen. Cat etc login.defs. So here we have all the information, okay, related to the user. Let me quickly run less so that it will give us input in a proper way. So if you just see, right, so so this is related to the password. Okay, we will discuss that as well, but right now we'll focus on the configuration or the user IDs available. If you see minimum maximum value for automatic user ID selection in user add. So whenever we are running the command user add, or let's say creating any of the normal user, so you know, it will be starting from 1000. The ID will be starting from 1000 and it will go up to 60,000. Okay, so we can, you know, modify the value of it. We can modify the max value or the minimum value, but minimum value would be more than 1000 always, because 0 to 999 are always reserved for the kernel. Okay, so here if you just see minimum max values for the automatic GID selection in group add. So whenever we are creating a group, okay, again For the normal group, it will be again starting from 1000 and it will go up to 60,000. System accounts, right? So if you just see system accounts, again, it will be, the minimum value would be starting from 201 and it will go up to 999. All right. So this is basically a configuration file of the users and groups. Okay, both. And we have the other file, which is cat etc password. Okay, so passwd, it will store the information. Let me just write it here. So cat etc passwd stores complete information about users. Okay, cat etc shadow file. So it will store complete password information about the users. All right, we will be specifically talking about the user here, not the groups. Okay, for group we have other files, but yes, for the users, these are the files. So let me just show you quickly here. Okay, so this is the passwd file. If you just see, so I'll let you know that what that mean is, what we specifically understand from this particular line. Okay, so what x means is here, and what 1000 and 1000 here. So here bin bash, what that mean is. So I'll let you know after a couple of minutes. But yes, so this is the user information. If you just see the root user with the user ID 0. Okay, so the root user will always have the user ID 0, and you can probably see all the system user informations where bin, daemon, ADM, sync, all the users will have, system users will have the UID up to 99. Okay, 999 999. All right, so this is the shadow file where we have all the information related to the user. And if I just open shadow file, so it has the information related to the password for the users. Okay, so don't just focus on what that mean is. I will let you know each and everything one by one or step by step. Basically just wanted to let you know that these are the two files which are very much important when it comes to user specific functions. Okay, so this passwd file will have the user information. Okay, and the shadow file will have the password details of the users. All right, let's discuss more about how many types of users we have. Okay, let's say types of user. Let me create a table so that you will understand in a very good way. So I need one types of user, GID, home directory, UID, range also. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I need 4 column. Let's see. Okay. So here I will say types of user. And here I will say UID range GID range. GID is group ID. Okay. UID means user ID. Home directory. Okay. And I need to add one more column here. Insert column to the right. So here default shell. Okay. So types of user. So let's say the admin user. Okay. We have the UID ranges 0 and GID ranges 0. Admin, I mean root. Okay. Sorry. Home directory is /root. Default shell is bin bash. Okay. And then we have normal user, and the UID range, for the normal user, we have is 1000 to 60,000. GID range for the normal user is again 1000 to 60,000. All right. And the home directory for the user is /home, and it could be any user. So username, any normal user. And then we have the default shell is bin bash. Then we have, pseudo user. Pseudo user, we will discuss about pseudo users. Okay. So what it means is pseudo user, a normal user with a root privilege. Okay. So normal user with the root privilege, we call it pseudo users. All right. And again, the range of the pseudo users are again starting from 1000 to 60,000. All right. And the home directory is again, under /home. So any user would be there. The default shell is bin bash. I will add more rows now below. Then we have network users. Okay. So network users, for example, let's say LDAP user. LDAP is, to authenticate, it's kind of a AD services to authenticate the users. So those network users, will also have the user ID, and it is again, starting from 1000 to 60,000. Okay. And GID is 1000 to 60,000. Home directory. home directory for network user is under home guest and whatever the username will be. Okay. And the shell, default shell is again bin bash. So now one thing is left. Let me insert one row. We have system users now. Okay. For example, FTP. All right. Or let's say, sorry, Apache users. Okay. So these users range between 1 to 1,999. Okay. So 0 is already allotted to root user and it started from 1 to 999. So those all ranged for the system users. Okay. And GID is also 1 to 999. So the default home directory for these users are under where. So if it is FTP, so it will be FTP. Okay, if it is Apache, it will be Apache. So under where is the home directory for all the users. All if it is a web user, let's say, right? So it will be like www. If it is Apache, so we will be using HTML, so it will be using Apache user. And the default shell of the system users would be sbin no login. Okay, so it will be non-interactive shell. You got it what I'm saying, right? Understood how many types of users we have? We have first root user, normal users, pseudo users, network users, and system users. And based on the type of user, we have the UID range already configured in the system. Okay, so it is already represent if it is a 0 UID, which is user ID 0 or the GID 0. So it will be representing as root user, and the home directory of the root user is /root, and so on. Okay, so for the normal user, again, it will be range between 1,000 to 60,000. GID will be ranged from 1,000 to 60,000. Again, the home directory will be /home and the username. So this is how other users will have the information here. So any questions so far? It is already 10 p.m. So we have discussed basics of our user. Okay. Any question related to it so far before closing the class? We will discuss, tomorrow about, how we can create the user, how we can create our how we can assign the password to that user. Okay. And we will see that, how we can check if the user has been created or not. Okay. So these all things related to users and also the group we will be discussing tomorrow. Until now, if there is any question, just let me know. Any doubt, anything you want me to add, or anything you don't capture it or you don't understand, just let me know. Guys, you there? I suppose I'm audible already, right?
Yeah, we're here.
Thanks. I was like, I'm only one is speaking. All right. So is it understood, to everyone?
Karandi, I'm just confused about the network users because I only know of the three, the root user, the super user, and the system user. So I'm hearing the network user for the first time. So can you explain more
Yes,
about it?
correct. So I totally understand. So I know that a couple of you guys have already understood what is root user and normal user, and of course we basically use those users on daily basis. But when it comes to the network user or the system user, we might be know as well. But when it comes to network user, so network user, it is when we have something related to the networking. So where a network user comes into picture. So let's say LDAP user. So LDAP user where authentication is very much required. So when for an example, if you are logging to your Facebook account, right? So you are actually loading the web page on your system, facebook.com. You will be entering your username and password. You are clicking on login. So when you are clicking on login, so what it will do is it will authenticate from the AD server, Active Directory server, or the LDAP server. Okay, it will authenticate from the network server, from the AD server, that if your user name or the password is correct or not. Okay, it is not possible to save the millions of user in a single machine, or let's say locally to the system. So that's where the company comes with a with an idea that you have the network profile established, you have the network authentication established. So wherever you go, you can go ahead and log into your system by authenticating from the LDAP server, or let's say your AD server, Active Directory server. Okay, you got it what I'm saying, Moses?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Is there any other question? Konika, I will work on it tonight and will write down question in the group as I join late today. Sure, Konika, no problem. You can just ping me directly as well in the group. You know, if there would be any question, you can ask any silly question, anything in the group as well. So as a team, we will discuss, more on it. Anything else, any question so far, or we will wrap up the call? I know that some of you need to have, dinner or breakfast or lunch. Anything you want to discuss or have a question, or we all are good?
Hello.
Hello, Karanj.
Yes, Moses.
Please don't forget, I'm still waiting for you to troubleshoot my installation.
Correct.
That.
Yes, correct. So what you do is let me create a Zoom session for you. Just ping me on the WhatsApp directly, please.
Can you add me to it as well, parents?
Sorry?
Can you add me to the Zoom too? I want to see how you troubleshoot Moses' problem issue.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right,
no problem. I'll share that. You guys just ping me on the WhatsApp, please. I'm sure you have my contact detail there. So just ping me. So I'll share the Zoom session there. Okay. So anyone else has the question or any doubt?
That system user is generated by system, or we are giving some authentication or authorization to that user?
See, so system user, as you mentioned already, it is generated by the system itself. So let's say if I want to use FTP server, okay, so the FTP server will be using FTP as a system user, okay, and it will be working in the backend. So if let's say web server, so for web server to be running, so the system user comes into picture, which is www. Okay, and if I'm installing Apache server, so the Apache user will be there. So it is called, they all are called system users.
And what about the LDAP user? They also are system user or not?
They are actually LDAP user is called a network user. So where network authentication comes into picture.
Okay, they are
Okay.
not system generated by system.
Sorry.
LDAP user is not generated by system, no?
No. It will be a network user.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Sheetal. Is there any other question, Sheetal?
No.
Any other doubt? All right, guys. If there is no question, we will wrap up the call for today. Thank you everyone for your time today, and we will connect tomorrow. All right.
Okay, thank you.